Welcome back to Southern Gal True Crime. I share missing persons, cold cases, true crime news, and more. 29-year-old Lauren Dumolo was last seen in Cape Coral, Florida on the morning of June 19th, 2020. She was last seen by her boyfriend around 6 a.m. as he was leaving for work. And when he returned home, he found Lauren's cell phone in their apartment, but she was nowhere to be found. Lauren was born in Florida on July 14th, 1990, and she was raised by her father, Paul, in Maryland. During her teen years, Lauren was involved in a car accident. She was prescribed painkillers, which led to an addiction that she did battle for several years. As an adult, both Lauren and her younger sister, Cassie, moved back to Florida. She was estranged from her mother, but she hoped to eventually establish a relationship with her. And she did end up moving to Cape Coral, which is the same town that her mother lived in. At the time of her disappearance, Lauren lived in an apartment with her boyfriend, Gabriel Pena, in the 4900 block of Coronado Parkway in Cape Coral, Florida. She did have a 5-year-old daughter. The daughter lived with her paternal grandmother, as Lauren had lost custody of her when she was 3 years old due to a relapse. She had a history of substance abuse, but she had been working hard to get her life back in order. She worked at a local Taco Bell, and she did have a second job as a server at a local restaurant. On June 1st, 2020, Lauren was admitted into a mental health facility. Her family said that she had been struggling and she was seeking help. She was released from the facility on June 18th of 2020. She immediately began searching for another job, and that evening she was captured on surveillance video applying for a job at a local Speedway gas station. On the morning of June 19th, 2020, Lauren's boyfriend, Gabriel, he left for work around 6 a.m. And when he left, he says that Lauren was sleeping, so he just gave her a quick kiss goodbye and left. At the time, the pair was living in an apartment at 4927 Coronado Parkway in Cape Coral. Lauren did not own a car. She did not have a driver's license, and she was a frequent walker in the area. A maintenance worker at the Coronado apartment complex says that he did see Lauren that morning at around 8:15 a.m. and she had asked him if he knew of any cheaper apartments in the area, saying that she wanted to get out of the situation that she was in. At 10 a.m., Lauren's phone made a video call to Gabriel via Facebook. He didn't answer, and later he said that he never saw the call come through. When Gabriel came home from work that evening, he did find Lauren's cell phone in their apartment, but she was nowhere to be found. At around 11 p.m., he called Lauren's father, Paul, who lived in California. Paul told Gabriel to keep in touch with him, let him know if Lauren turned up. And he also told Gabriel to file a missing persons report. On Sunday, June 21st of 2020, Lauren's father, Paul, called the Cape Coral Police Department himself, and he then learned that no prior report of his daughter's disappearance had been made. So he immediately booked a flight. He headed out to Florida to help search for Lauren. The same day, Gabriel himself reported Lauren missing to the police at 6:23 p.m., but due to a clerical error, it was not entered into the system and assigned a detective until June 24th. Gabriel told authorities that he did not make any statement, or that she did not make any statements of wanting to harm herself or anyone else. She wasn't on any medications. And he did admit that he was filing the missing persons report because Lauren's father had asked him to do so. On June 19th of 2020, the same day Lauren went missing, her purse was found by a citizen at the Four Freedom Parks which is in the 4800 block of Tarpon Court. Uh, Apparently, Lauren often visited this area to meditate and to walk, and the park was just a 6-minute walk from their apartment. Her purse was found in the park with Lauren's ID and her bank card inside. The purse was turned over to park rangers, but since she wasn't officially reported as missing yet, her family was unaware of the discovery for a few days. Cadaver dogs were brought in to search the park. They found no trace of Lauren. But on July 2nd, Lauren's shirt was found at the park, which had been searched multiple times before, leading some to believe that it may have been planted there after the searches. Through testing, the shirt was confirmed to be Lauren's, but it offered no other evidence. Lauren's phone records don't indicate anything unusual leading up to her disappearance. Most of the calls were related to her job searches. 6 months after she went missing, Lauren's family did hire a private investigator to help with the search. The location of Lauren and the circumstances regarding her disappearance still remain unknown. Her family says that Lauren would never abandon her daughter and that she would have reached out to someone by now. She is considered an endangered missing person, and her disappearance is considered suspicious, and her case remains unsolved. June 19th, 2024 marked 4 years since Lauren was last seen, and her family and Crime Stoppers are still holding out hope that she will be located. Lauren's father, Paul, told WINK News in January that the case had gone cold and that he was worried and concerned that something had happened to Lauren. Lauren's case gained national attention after countless flyers and searches were organized for her, as the Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers announced an $8,000 reward for any information that could lead to her location. Lauren's father also said that the memory of Lauren's disappearance has been burned into his memory. He says, "I still remember her voice, which is a good thing. I'll never forget that. So I always play it over again. I never want to forget her voice." It has been an agonizing 3.5 years for Lauren's dad. He goes on to say, quote, "It's a nightmare. It really is. It never ends. Your child is not supposed to go before you. It is not the right order." When Lauren disappeared, once again, she was dating a man named Gabriel Pena. Pena called Lauren's father when he came home on June 19th, and Lauren was gone. So Pena has only spoke once publicly about Lauren's case in July of 2020. And during that interview, he said, quote, I'm worried and scared. Not scared because I didn't do anything, but I'm just worried something really did happen." So Paul and his family have now suffered through 4 Christmases, 4 New Year's days, 4 rounds of holidays, not knowing what happened to Lauren. For a long time, her father did keep in touch with the Cape Coral police for updates on the investigation, but unfortunately, the updates have lessened. Her father says, "Last thing I heard from the police was basically the case is cold." So Paul's wish for 2024 is answers to end his suffering and possibly an arrest in Lauren's case. He says, quote, "This is something no parent should have to deal with and go through. There is no closure. There's never going to be closure. It will never be an end for me until either she's found or I'm dead." Once again, Lauren was last seen on June 19th, 2020 in Cape Coral, Florida. She's a white female. She was 29 years old at the time she went missing. She will be 34 years old as of 2024. At the time she went missing, she was 5 foot to 5 foot 2 inches tall and weighed 95 to 115 pounds with blonde hair and brown eyes. She does have several tattoos, including the word namaste in black ink down her side, the letters NY in her pelvic area, an Om symbol on the inside of her wrist, and rosary beads on her ankle. Her ears and nose are pierced. Her hair is naturally light brown, and it was dyed blonde at the time of her disappearance, with darker roots showing. Once again, in the days before Lauren disappeared, she was involuntarily hospitalized twice because she was apparently hearing voices and she believed that people were after her. She was released from the hospital the last time on June 18th, which was the day before she went missing. She had had no prior history of mental health problems, but her sister thinks that her issues may have been caused by some emotional trauma due to a recent event. So if you have any information regarding the disappearance of Lauren, no bit of information is too small. Please contact the Cape Coral Police at 239-574-3223 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-780-TIPS. Please, guys, give this video a like, leave a comment. The most important thing you can do is share it anywhere and everywhere you can to keep Lauren's face out there, her name out there, her story out there, so that she is never forgotten. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.